and welcome again. Thank you so much for joining the Connect Day here in Vienna. My name is Christina Kropf, and on behalf of the GreenTech cluster, I'd like to welcome you to the GreenTech session. So obviously now we are going green. It's almost high noon, also in a metaphorical sense. The latest report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change shows that it is inevitable that we manage the green transition. As we know, this is one of the biggest challenges of our time. We immediately need to cut greenhouse gas emissions. So that is actually what the Austrian industry is already doing, especially the south of Austria. As we call it, the GreenTech Valley. However, there's still a long way to go. So the question is, how are we going to stop climate change? And there is only one answer: together. And that is also why we are here today. The GreenTech cluster is the one that aims at connecting GreenTech corporates and the GreenTech startup scenery, which is actually flourishing in the valley. The ecosystem is considered to be the #1 hotspot of climate and circular solutions. And our Mission 100 goes as follows: one world, zero carbon, zero waste. The EU is also watching the south of Austria and its GreenTech founders. So I'd say let's take a closer look at the efforts the EU and the entrepreneurs of the GreenTech Valley are making to prevent global warming. So please, everybody, give a warm welcome to the CEO of the GreenTech cluster, Bernhard Buttinger, and Climate Impact Manager at EIT Climate Kick, Christine Röhrer. Woo! All right. Thank you, Bernhard. Let's talk a little bit about the south of Austria, about our common GreenTech Valley. Which impact does the location have when it comes to the Austrian GreenTech sector?
A big one. Did you know that within the European Eco-Innovation Scoreboard, there is one country that leads in terms of eco-innovation turnover, and this one is Austria. It's an eco-innovation leader. We have around 5% R&D quota, meaning that 5% of all expenditures is going to R&D of the GDP. So this is also a European-wide hub for innovation. And we see that we are ranked #1 in a broad range of rankings. e.g. the US GreenTech Group, a network of VCs in the States, ranked us twice as #1 hotspot for green technologies. What was the main reason that they did so? It is the concentration of businesses, having 20 global tech leaders on a global scale in one hotspot, having 2,300 researchers, meaning 1 out of 500 people living in the south of Austria is a green tech researcher on a university scale. As Birgit from the ABA already mentioned, the COMET, the cooperation of corporates and research, the COMET centers of competence, 14 out of 18 green tech competence centers are located here in the south. So this is really a powerhouse of green innovation. That's why I think European Union is looking into this space very highly. Of course, the mission is much bigger, tackle global warming, but with a history of more than 100 years, we see that now 1 out of 5 kilowatt hours of green electricity has the core technology produced in the GreenTech Valley. This is hydrogen, this is photovoltaics, this is other technologies, but it shows that despite a small size, it has really a global impact, having 20% of green electricity produced on technologies of this valley.
All right, Bernhard, thank you. Tell us a little bit about the startup scenery while I'm taking a chair.
Okay. Well, with all this research there and with the corporates there, we see that there is a big trend of spin-offs out of the competence centers, out of research organizations. We see that the corporates and startups are growing together, and with this strong industrial hub, now the startup share is twice as high as in other regions concerning green technologies, of course, because there is this ecosystem of cooperation. Just like the Connect Day, we see that the connection of corporates and upcoming startups is really the big benefit of joining the GreenTech Valley, the eastern and southern part of Austria.
Great. And there's one more question. Which role does the GreenTech Valley and its startup scenery play on an international level?
Well, already mentioned that we have a big impact, but we want to do so in the future. So we see quite a nice selection of startups now that will show how we tackle climate change, the need for green electricity, the need of storage systems, the need of circular solutions, bio-based products. Make your own picture, make your own mind, and connect with the startups that are now on this stage, but also connect with the corporates that are looking for you as a startup with a strong cooperation focus.
Thank you, Bernhard. Please stay with us a little longer. So, Christina, let's do it like this. I'm sorry, can I have a chair? Thank you. So, we're all a little nervous on stage here. So that's better, right? Okie dokie. Can you all see us? Perfect. So please give some applause for Christina right now.
Thank you.
Christina, EIT Climate Kick, it's a knowledge and innovation community which is working to accelerate transition to a zero carbon and climate resilient society. So why is it, in your opinion, so important to include young talents when it comes to climate action?
So let me just say we need young talent. We need not so young talent. We need all talent. Ooh. That's the answer. Not just young talent. Everyone's needed. Because we are actually running into a climate catastrophe. And in order to avoid this catastrophic situation, we really need to act. And whilst many are still not realizing that we are driving against the wall, those of us who are already realizing that this is the case, we need to turn around. So what is really needed is courageous new thinking and action to drive systems innovation to address climate change.
Well said.
Thank you.
And EIT Climate Kick is co-founded by the EU. So what would you actually say? What can the EU and respectively the rest of Austria learn by watching the actions of the south of Austria?
So in the EU, as you know, we now have the Green Deal. So the environmental and climate topics are surfacing much more. Van der Leyen's key topic is also the new European Bauhaus, which talks of a new approach to sustainability. I call it sustainability plus plus. So it's sustainability in the classical environmental sense, but it's also social sustainability, accessibility, inclusiveness, quality of experience, aesthetics. All that falls into the new European Bauhaus, sustainability plus plus. And when I look to the south of Austria, where I also live, the GreenTech Valley has actually a unique offer in that direction. So this is what I would like to emphasize here.
And you told me that Christine is actually a very interesting person. I'd like to emphasize on that. You've lived abroad for about 20 years, and you've been to Africa, Latin America, the US, and the UK, and you came back to Styria. When did you come back to Styria?
So I left Styria in '96 and came back in 2018.
Huh? Okay.
And
what did you actually feel, and what was your first thought upon your return?
So my first thought was, gosh, this is life in luxury. And I said this when I moved back from Washington, D.C., so I didn't come right out of Africa or some poorer country in Central America. I moved back from Washington, D.C. And I think the quality of life in Austria, especially in southern Styria, is just fantastic. Mm-hmm. I also observed, I mean, I had left a grey city. I observed the colorfulness, the diversity, the richness of languages that are spoken in the town of Graz. I met a thriving startup ecosystem, which I hadn't known from the time of my studies. In Graz, I think a couple of weeks ago, a startup guide to the city was launched. So there is a very lively entrepreneurship startup scene, which I don't know how many cities can compare themselves in that sense to Graz and the south of Austria.
So Vienna, watch out, we're coming. Thank you so much. Please give it up again for Christina.
Thank you so much.
That was well played. Thank you so much. And dear corporates, startups and investors, there will be a lot of time for questions. We do have a GreenTech Valley booth. And of course, we can meet up during lunchtime. Thank you. And you can ask all your questions later on, or you can even use Slido. So please take out your mobile phones now and scan the QR code, or you can even go to slido.com/mainstage. Tell us your name, pose your question, and we will forward them afterwards to our speakers. All right, everyone. So now I'd say it's time for the big players of the green tech scenery in Austria. It's time for our corporate reverse pitches. Remember, Slido is your friend if you have any questions. Now, please give it up for our first climate hero, Franz Jesche, Sales Director at Christoph Industries.
Hello.
Can we have it a little quiet, please?
Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm very pleased to be here today to make a short presentation of our company. Please, in the backwards, could you please be a little bit more silent? Thank you. Okay. My name is Franz Jesche. I'm Director Corporate Sales for Christoph Industries. I have 5 minutes, which is very short time for me. I would like to show you what we're doing, why we are doing, and what we offer, and what we're searching for. Yeah? Please, can we put on the slide? Okay. So, Christoph Industries, we are coming out of the dirty business. All these parties, more than 150 years of age, we are coming out of refinery, oil and gas business, power business. But more than 20 years ago, it was also like a startup in this old company. We engaged in circular industry. And starting by 20 years ago, our owner was asked if he's completely crazy to go for it, because at that time, nobody saw the need, but also didn't see the profit. One point to say, I was just 4 weeks ago, I was in Africa, Zanzibar, Tanzania. There's a huge, huge demand to change it. And we don't have that much time. The only issue in all these aspects, nobody will do it without a profit. In the meantime, as it's coming really to the edge, yeah, this business is also profitable, not only saving the world. Yeah. So I will go over what we are as a company, because I only have these 5 minutes. You can have a look on our website. We are located and acting globally. I just want to tell you this. So we have now founded a new company which is dedicated to consultancy of governments of big regions, how to reach the master plan with the clear target of CO2 reduction down to 0 and even negative, but also in the main point to reach 0 to the landfill. Why we can do this? Because in the last 20 years, we acquired, either by ourselves on R&D, technologies to convert the waste, either to energy or to products. And we did it, and that's also the issue why I'm here. We are scouting for new technologies or for old technologies that are found. And we are also contacted by persons or small companies who did this. What we are doing the evaluation of this technology, of this process, and our competence is to bring it on industrial size. One example was insect technology, which was already established in South Africa, but it was too small for commercial operation. And with this technology, we convert organic waste 100% to products, so biodiesel and protein. And just for organic waste, in general, more than 50% of the global waste is organic waste. Yeah? So this is what we reach out. So what we do in a consultancy, we are working together with governments, it's kind of partnership, and we have different steps to do this. It's not about selling a waste-to-energy plant, it's really to set up the master plan, which takes decades, that areas like, for example, Zanzibar, Tanzania, I don't know, Russia, even Israel, Palestine, Brazil, these were the countries about at the last, to reach the same status like it is in Vienna. In Vienna, maximum 5% of the waste goes still to the landfill, but there 100% goes to the landfill. If you look on Tanzania, I was in Dar es Salaam, it's a huge dump site where the black liquid, which is huge toxic, just goes out, destroying the groundwater and finally kills the people. Yeah? So what we are setting up together with the government is a plan, first of all, to avoid the waste, to separate the waste, to collect it, bring it to a treatment sorting plant, and that's then the feedstock for two streams of the waste. So any fraction of the waste is taken, and either we go what we call clean city factory. So this is where we have to either go for classical waste to energy plant, we go for insect technology, we convert hospital waste, so everything which is needed to be treated. And the final output is energy or product. And the second flow, of course, when you can directly reuse or recycle the stuff. Please, in the back, can you please be silent? It's very hard. I cannot understand my word.
Well, we do have actually planned something for that case. Liebe Technik.
Thank you. Sorry, because I cannot understand. So this is what we set up. This is a plan which lasts for decades. If you know when Vienna started with that, or Singapore, we have these expressions. Yeah? This takes decades. So this is how we support them to come to a final plan, which consists also of a bankable feasibility study for the different plants that you have to implement, because nobody will do it if there isn't a profit. No investor is coming. In the meantime, we even have the nice story. This is now put on top about the CO2 certificates. So this is giving another push, yeah, and it shows even more profitability for all of that. This slide, I know I don't like this slide because it's so much on, but I don't have the time. On the left side, you see any kind of waste that occurs. In the second draw, you see our Christoph Global Impact Technologies. This we, as I told you, either developed by ourselves or we partnered up with even famous companies, but also with startups to bring it to industrial waste, and they become part of this grid. It's kind of a network of different processes which are interlinked to convert the waste fully. And the final output is zero waste. Today it's possible really to turn over any kind of waste. It's just, for example, plasma technology at the moment is more money and energy consuming. So still to deposit it in salt mines is cheaper. But this will be, I think, a time frame of about 1.5 years, and then we'll be also there on the edge.
So Franz, we need to come to an end.
Okay, thank you. So what we're interested in, as I already told you, we are interested in technologies which support our way, our processes for any kind of diffractions, also how to optimize this. I also we had already some talks with companies who are on the digitalization area. This we need for proving to get the CO2 certificates. In addition to that, we will have a new office here in Vienna, which will be double size of the area that we need. And for those who are located here in Vienna, we would offer some time, 6 months, whatever, for a cooperation to promote their ideas and to industrialize their technologies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Franz. Thank you. There's obviously a lot of questions, but due to our time limit, we can actually not pose them right now. So please meet Franz at our GreenTech Valley booth later on. And our next speaker is actually already on. He asked me if he can do 3 minutes or 5. Well, it's going to be 3. Fabian Weinhandel, Head of GreenTech Solutions at BDI Bioenergy International. Please come to the floor. So there's an applause for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction. BDI Bioenergy, we are a knowledge center for chemical process engineering. The department GreenTech Solutions focuses on the scale-up of new and innovative technologies. My name is Fabian Weinhandel. I'm responsible for the department GreenTech Solutions, and I'm head of that department. GreenTech Solutions and BDI especially, we have history in circular economy and chemical process engineering. This is what we have done for the last decades, and today we are a sparring partner for others, so they can experience and learn from the mistakes, the obstacles that we have already experienced, to help them to advance their technologies and their new projects. For us, innovation is in our DNA, but for some companies, that might not be the case, even though you might look at them from the outside and it's different. I'll start here with a little metaphor. Look at the guy in the grass here. Well, he's cutting the grass with his scythe. He's cutting and cutting. The plate gets duller and duller, but when you ask him why doesn't he sharpen his plate, he will just reply, well, I have no time. I have to cut the grass. Well, this has happened, more or less, with the company CEO. Stephen Elop, the former CEO, said, well, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Well, for me, that's a very important phase. It's not about doing nothing wrong, it's about doing the things right. And for us, innovation is in our DNA, and innovation and the development of ideas comes in phases. To narrow that down for us, this happens in 4 different phases. At first, what's happening? Well, you're putting an idea maybe on a paper napkin, you see if that works, and you see if it's worthwhile to continue to develop this idea. Once you see, yeah, it's worthwhile, you have to do a concept evaluation. We do that at BDI with a technical evaluation, but often also necessary an economic evaluation. When you continue with that, you need to go into testing. What does testing mean? Well, testing means you have to get a feedback from the market. Prototyping would be something, but also making first product samples in order to provide the market with those samples. Next stage is about scale-up. You need all the different departments. It's in process engineering and scale-up, you need to define what's the right stage of that development. It shouldn't be too small, it shouldn't be too large. Pilot scale, demo scale, all the different steps you need to take in order to go to an industrialized plant. In the end, it's about the construction and commissioning of plants. Well, what does it mean? You have to go to authority engineering. You have to put that maybe on brownfield, maybe on greenfield, depends on what you want to do. And in the end, we call it babysitting when we turn the keys to the operators and they know what to do exactly with that plant. Well, all those stages together, they are innovation. Takes you a lot of things, a lot of obstacles in order to go from an idea to an industrialized plant. The thing I love the most at the BDI is that we have gone through this process several times. We have over 300 patents in different fields, most of them in fine chemistry, chemistry, and also biotechnology. And what I love in the department GreenTech Solutions, my job is to help others. I can support others to develop their ideas and their dreams to make them reality. And the part of it that explains it the best is the testing. At BDI, we have a testing facility. I would love to invite you all there, but today it's probably not enough time to go to Graz. So I brought 2 little videos just to give you a short glimpse of what process engineering and chemical engineering means to us. As you see here, that's the testing facility we have at BDI. It's equipped with different types of equipment, distillation, rectification, high pressure reactors, all different types of things that you can use. It's not meant to do contract manufacturing with that. Our main goal is to produce first product samples to go out to the market and to give that to the market in order to get that first feedback. So that's basically what I love the most, going through all those steps and also being a partner, a sparing partner, and taking others by hand, and that they can learn from our project that we have done in the past. Anything else, please come to us, visit us in Graz. I'd love to partner up with anyone who has an idea, a project at hand, to support them to get to that next innovation level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fabian. Thank you so much. Perfect. So we will again forward your questions due to time limit. Thank you, Fabian. Please stay with us a little longer. We want to do a picture together with all the speakers afterwards on stage. So I don't need this one. All right, everyone. Thank you for your attention. And again, please be a little bit more quiet in the back. Other than that, the technique has something prepared, I guess. Okay. Well, then let's go on with our next speaker. It's Christian Wassermeier, Director Research and Development Solar Energy at Fronius. Welcome to the floor.
Thank you, Christina, for your kind introduction. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I will give you a small overview about Fronius and tell a little bit what we would need from startup companies and what we are able to offer. But first of all, a little introduction to our company. So basically, Fronius is situated in Upper Austria. It's a family-owned business. Our turnover is in the range of 1 billion. We have 6,500 employees, and in the range of 800 are working in R&D. So our R&D quota is rather high. We have at about 30 subsidiaries worldwide. We deliver to, I think, more than 100 countries. And we are divided into 3 business units. Basically, power electronics and the conversion from AC to DC, that's our business. And in the 3 business units, we deal with that kind of skills. So our first business unit is perfect charging. Here we're serving logistics, mainly forklift with chargers. The second one is perfect welding. Here we serve industry, automotive, and aerospace with welding solutions. So we try to get to design the perfect arc for welding. And what I'm representing is the business unit solar energy. In solar energy, we say we are 24 hours of sun. So our aim is, and that's what all about our business, is to serve 24 hours of sun to our customers. And that's our vision we are following. Basically, on products, we deliver inverters for PV systems. We are in e-mobility, so these typical wall boxes and stuff like that, and everything around to convert energy either into electricity or heat. And we are serving with smart solutions to enable our customer to be part of 24 hours of sun. So just as a side information, I think we are one of the bigger cloud handlers here in Austria. So we have an active cloud serving our customers with 1 million users as of today. And we are transferring, or we're somehow transferring our business to a digital business. And that's the reason, or that's one of the reasons why we are here. We are looking for solutions around energy flow management, around e-mobility, technically related to power electronics and or to software applications, mainly distributed into the cloud. What can we offer as Fronius to you as startup? It's very simple. We are offering to make you big. That's our offer. Once you come up with products and solutions which can be integrated to our solar portfolio, you're directly in our sales line. And in our business, we're always talking about 6 or 7 digit numbers on units we're selling. So it's our offer to make you big. How do we support startups in making them big? We know that startups have their legs, for example, in IP production, in legal, in financing them, in getting the right contacts, getting the right production up and running. And here we serve as a partner. So you're invited to be part of 24 Hours of Sun. If there are any questions, I think we are not good in time. If there are any questions, join us at the booth and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Everybody's got a lot to say, obviously, so please join us at the booth or pose your questions via Slido. Please don't forget that. Last but not least, may I welcome to the stage Daniel Lee, Business Development E-Mobility at KELAG. We're going to Carinthia right now.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Daniel Leeb. I'm from KELAG. We are one of the leading utilities and energy companies in Austria. We are dedicated to green and renewable energies like hydro energy, photovoltaics, and also wind energy. But on top of that, we also have a broad portfolio of products and services for our customers, like heat pumps or photovoltaics combined with battery storages and e-mobility. And this is the point where I'm here today. So I am from the e-mobility department of KELAG. I am responsible for product and business development, and this is the reason why I want to give you a short look on our strategy. So the main pillars of our strategy are innovation. We want to be positioned as a customer-focused and green energy service provider. We want to establish energy efficiency and decentralized solutions. And we want to be a big player in digitalization and smart services. And of course, we want to grow. We want to grow in renewable energies. We want to improve our energy and heat sales, and also new technologies like fiber optics and e-mobility charging infrastructure, high-power charging infrastructure, and this all combined with our value management, with the sustainability as the main objective. So, and what we want to create together with you is we see ourselves as enabler for new products and new solutions. We want to get successful together with you, and we want to accelerate new technologies in the market, and we want to grow together with our cooperation partners. So what we are interested in is charging infrastructure, new charging infrastructure, like new technologies like inductive charging, and also smart grid innovations like power vehicle to load, vehicle to home, and vehicle to grid solutions. We want smart IT solutions, gamification, and big focus of our new inventions is blockchain technologies and tokenization. So this is what we are really looking for here, is partners in blockchain technologies and also tokenizations. And a big point is also megawatt charging, like bus and truck charging initiatives. And yeah, this is what we are looking for. This is the reason why you see it in our shopping cart right there with our word cloud. Yeah, tried to be a little bit faster than the other ones, so we have more time for the new participants. If you have questions, please feel free to come to us. We are here the whole day, or write an email to us as you want. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So it's getting a little noisy in the back. Can we have it a little bit more quiet in the back, please? Guys? Technique. I think they couldn't hear it. I'm trying hard. All right. Yeah, what a ride, right? So let's, I'd say, catch a little breath and let me take you on a small journey. Imagine there is no pollution, no pall of smoke in the sky. Imagine there's no waste problem. And imagine there is no microplastics in the sea. So you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. There is obviously an awful lot of highly motivated and very smart people who do not only dream of a brighter future for all of us, but who are also working on this brighter future. And the GreenTech Valley, as we see it here, is a fertile breeding ground for GreenTech startups, corporates and startups. And some of you may know this. This is our Climate Tech Startups Austria 22. And what you can see on it, it was developed by the GreenTech cluster and by Galatia, so startups. If you want to be a part of the GreenTech cluster, and this is what you're getting. We can give you some visibility, obviously. And what you can see is over 120 green startups in the south of Austria, but also in Vienna, that are currently working on climate solutions and circular solutions. And 4 of them are actually here today. So please welcome our first startup speaker. It's a dear member of the GreenTech cluster. So I hope you can find some kind words. Stefan Spierk, founder, Ecolite.
Thanks, Chrissy. Very, very nice introduction to the session. So I just do a check here whether this is working. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, my name is Stefan Spierk. I come from the company Ecolite, and our vision is to change the energy storage compared to what we do today. So we are working on, oh, there's no pointer here, on sustainable energy storage solutions. And our vision is that we get away from this classical picture of digging holes to the earth, mining raw materials, and rather getting like into materials that are renewable, that we can grow again. So materials from the forest, but also I heard before from Christoph industry, recycling is a big thing here. So this is basically one of our main visions, to use renewable materials, but also those that are regionally available. And the reason for that is because we have then new regional value chain, we create less CO2, and in the end, we create also new business opportunities we are probably not aware of as today. And this sentence was already there before all this crisis started with raw material supply and gas. Particularly Austria is very hard hit by these things. So we need to get independent or more independent of raw material supply from politically unstable regions. So this is basically the starting point for our vision. And what we are doing is we are developing a special type of battery system that relies on flow batteries. And what we're aiming at is that we replace all these components step by step by materials that are made in the forest or that can be obtained from waste materials and waste streams. How does that work? So basically, this battery technology is much easier to scale up than conventional battery technology, lithium-ion batteries. And we plan to really go very big within the end of the next year. And we are currently in a scale-up phase, so this is what we did the last couple of years. So we were testing a lot of single cells, so very small ones. We could show that our systems that we obtain from nature, they're quite stable in these small cells, so more than 200, 300, 400 cycles. We do not have any degradation reactions, so you can cycle and cycle. And at the moment, we are developing together with Scheffler, a German company, a new setup that will be able to deliver like 1 kW of power and about 4 kilowatt hours. And we plan to test this now and like do all the things. There are small adaptations necessary to all these components that we use. And by the end of next year, hopefully, we are available to provide a solution. So this is our team. So basically, besides my function as CEO of Ecolite, I'm also like a professor at TU Graz, like with some parts of the team. And however, we also have like people that have a large experience in industry and also in business development. And we have a lot of partners that are supporting us in these efforts. And with this, I would like to thank you. Please contact us. Not a very fancy slide, but the vision is really to get into contact here and to meet you and answer to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. So let's talk about what you need. So and be honest on that. What do you need?
Money.
Money. Money.
Money.
Okay. Yeah. Now we're talking real, right? So if there's any investors, he's a good man and he can do it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yes, there are questions. However, we cannot stop here. We will have to pose them later on. And I would like to welcome our next speaker. And this is Verena Schwab, founder EcoNutri. Is she here? Yes, she is here. So please come to the stage.
So much. My name is Verena Schwab. I'm co-founder and CEO of EcoNutri.
Verena?
This goes. Here. All right, so I'm going to present to you our startup EcoNutri today. Let's start at the beginning. What do? We have designed a bioprocess that can produce sustainable protein from CO2. What is our motivation behind this? Basically, a few of the major global issues that we're facing at the moment. So we thought by changing the way of producing protein, we can get rid of needing cultivable land. We do not need a lot of water for our process and no pesticides at all. Also, for the production, we can utilize CO2 to produce a very high amount of protein that could substitute proteins like fish protein, soy protein, and other protein sources that have major impacts on the environment. So, how does it work? So, basically, we're working with a microorganism that can utilize CO2, hydrogen, and oxygen to make protein. This process is called gas fermentation, and the end product is, of course, a protein. What do we want to do with the protein? In the first step, we will produce animal feed products. And then the end game, of course, is to produce proteins for human nutrition. Right. So just to give you a bit of an overview of the impact that this product can make on the environment, I put together some numbers for a reactor of a size of 100 cubic meters for 1 year. This reactor can utilize around 3,500 tons of CO2 while producing 1,500 tons of protein. That equals the amount of protein that can be produced on a soy field of 1,300 hectares. And also, it would save around 5.7 million cubic meters of water that would be used in the same production of the soy protein. All right, so a few steps that we're now taking. We're currently conducting studies at pilot scale to find out the maximal growth factors and the optimal process conditions before we can start with the planning of the industrial site. We're looking also for some industrial partners already to do that. So if you are a CO2 producer or an H2 producer or an animal feed producer, or maybe you want to be a financial partner, then please contact us at the booth on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you, Verena. Great job. So you can find Verena afterwards at our GreenTech Valley booth again, or you can pose your questions via Slido. All right, next one's on. Where's Lukas Renz? Lukas, oh, here you are. Founder Hydro Solid. Please give it up.
Hi, everyone.
All right, I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit loud in the background, as you've mentioned before. I'm coming to you in the front, so it's not a barrier here between us. And I'm going to tell you something about hydrogen. Who of you knows about hydrogen? Have you ever heard about it? I guess so, right? Hands up in the air. Come on, give me some interaction here. Everybody's sleeping in the background. All right. Basically, we have one problem nowadays, and the big problem is we do not know how to deal with these current problems. We are dependent on Russian oil and gas, and we do not know how to handle it. How do we do it? What's the solution out of it? Basically, well, even the European Union said, well, we have to invest a lot of money to be independent. And the key player is hydrogen, green hydrogen especially. But what's the biggest problem with hydrogen? Well, it's the storage. How do we store hydrogen? It's the smallest atom, it's super fast, it's super growing away, so to say, and we cannot handle it properly without high pressures and without being unsafe, so to say. So current storage solutions is mostly limited to high pressure storages. High pressure storages are from 200 to 700 bars. They're quite unsafe, they're quite expensive, and the capacity is also not like the yellow of the egg, so to say. How do we solve this issue? We believe in this solid matter storage. A solid matter storage system is basically something like a sponge. A sponge where the hydrogen is sucked in and kept under very safe conditions. And we're not talking about 700 bars, we're talking about 15 bars. And 15 bar is basically something where we can easily manage hydrogen, and we bring the hydrogen to the private and commercial sectors. This is the first moment which really enables us as mankind, so to say, to approach these sectors safely and easily. How is the technology working, some of you may ask? Well, it's basically a nano compound which sucks in the hydrogen. As I just mentioned, it's like a sponge which sucks it in and lets it out under very convenient conditions, with very low pressure and only room temperatures. But where do we need it? I mean, well, the technology is so broad we can apply it almost everywhere. But to give a very prominent example here is mobility. Mobility, for example, when you think about the new BMW X5, it has a 6 kilogram hydrogen tank with 450 liters and 700 bar. When we would use our technology to reach these 800 kilometers, we would only need these 30 liters under 15 bar. Some of you may think now, what would happen if we would bring our material in this 150 liters? How many kilometers could we achieve? What do you think? Okay, I will help you. It's something around 4,000 kilometers. So that would make sense then. We are also part of the European Space Agency. They enable us to make our technology even better, step by step. We use the MIMOS 2 technology. MIMOS 2 is basically used as one of the most accurate technologies for measuring. So we measure our material and we are basically able to say, okay, how is hydrogen adsorbed and desorbed at atomic level? And this brings us even one step forward. Here on the left-hand side, you can see the MIMOS 2 technology, which was also one proof for water on the Mars. Shortly about our team. We are a complementary team, we are a strong team, and we basically have everything in our team which is needed to achieve this project. We have strong partners, for example, this European Space Agency, GreenTech Valley, Science Park, Accent, they are also here today. And some strong partners, for example, our latest project, which we're currently developing in Jordan, a 4 megawatt PV project where we're producing hydrogen there and exporting it to Europe. All right, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them afterwards, because we're a little bit on time pressure, right?
It is like that. Thank you. Thank you. Lucas, that was actually a really cool move to step to the front. How did it feel?
Well, it's like a little barrier here, so yeah. I always like to be in the audience.
I think that's a really cool move, so I'd like to copy you right now, because thank you, and I'm going to get our last speaker, Jan. Jan. Hi. Do you want to come to the stage with me?
Yeah.
Jan Sen, everybody. EET founder.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to be here today and to give you a short overview about ET and especially about our soulmate. Perfect. Soulmate is the first photovoltaic and storage solution that anyone sitting here in this room is able to install by themselves without the help of any fitter. Soulmate consists of 4 to 6 semi-flexible and lightweight photovoltaic panels and a compact storage unit. The panels are put over your balcony railing, over your fence, or wherever the sun is shining on, really. They're connected to each other, and the last one in line is then connected to the storage unit, which in turn is simply plugged into a conventional electricity socket. Therefore, your own green electricity flows via the panels and the storage directly into your household where it's needed. This brings us 4 unique selling propositions. First of all, ease of use, or as I already mentioned, a very fast and simple installation. Secondly, you are enforcing renewables. That means you're using your own green solar power where it's needed, and that is directly in your household. Third, our system is compatible with all existing photovoltaic systems. That means you do not have to buy our solar panels, or rather, you do not have to install solar panels at all. You can simply buy, or with our next version of our Soulmates, even rent solar panels, for example, on the roof of an exhibition hall in your town, and you can load up your system remotely. And last, but definitely not least, our system has an integrated emergency backup supply. That means if there ever occurs a blackout with Soulmate, you're always prepared. Here you can see our timeline. ET was founded in May 2017. Coincidentally, we will celebrate our 5th anniversary tomorrow evening, which is awesome. And I'm very much looking forward to it. Well, we started by building 3 prototypes, and then we did a field test with a small series of 30 systems. We had our go-to-market in the fall of 2018 and are focusing on growth and scale-up ever since. ET started very small with just 3 founders, but grew very rapidly over the course of the last years to a team of 35 employees, and we also got 2 investors on board, one of which is Mr. Klaus Fronius. He's the owner of the company Fronius, which we just heard before. In designing Soulmate, we were focusing primarily on megatrends such as urbanization, such as sustainability, of course design, and independence. Especially over the last few years learned us that independence is very, very important. With the COVID crisis going on and the terrible war in the Ukraine, we just learned that being independent is very necessary in the future. And we are trying to give everyone the possibility to produce their own solar power within their home and to contribute to the green revolution, and also to be more independent in their homes. We want that every household has the possibility to produce their own solar power with or without a roof. And in order to do so, we need to scale up. Currently, we're right in the middle of our 2nd investment round, and we will close the 2nd round within this summer. At the moment, we are still open for new investment partners who help us to reach an even broader audience and who help us to scale up, because we know we cannot do it alone. In order to give everyone that possibility, we need to all work together and to bring sun to every home. My name is Jan Sen, we are EET, and we will bring sun into your home.
Woo! Well, thank you so much. That's yours.
You got already one, I see.
Jan will stay with me on the stage. May I please have all the speakers of the GreenTech session on stage again for my last words and a picture. So please come to the stage. Thank you. Dear GreenTech community. So as we can see, there is a lot of great corporates and startups in the GreenTech Valley in the south of Austria. So please reach out to us, reach out to the organization, please reach out to the GreenTech cluster. I think when it all comes down to what we got to know today is we are in control. We can do it together. And yeah, well, let's connect at our GreenTech Valley booth or during lunchtime. We'd love to meet you now afterwards and yeah, have a chat and maybe bring forward some red-hot green tech innovations. Thank you for having me and, well, have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.